Hi folks, thanks for tuning in. For this video, we are going to look at threaded rod, flat washers, and hex nuts. We're going to put them in on cam slides on this, what is this? This is a hinge die. So you got a rollover for the hinge lich pin or hinge pin or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, the fastener thread menu, go down to threaded rod, flat washers, hex nuts, or ROD from the command line. Brings up the dialog box. We have our thread sizes. We have our views based on what view we're drawing in. Our different components, the threaded rod, the flat washer, the hex nut. We're going to start with the threaded rod. And you can see we have an insertion point. There will be a direction 1 for the jam thread, and then a direction 2 for the overall length of the threaded rod. Some data based on what thread size we have and our previous rod length and jam fit depth, so washer thickness, diameter, hex nut thickness, diameter, etc. So yeah, let's get started drawing this threaded rod in. And we are prompted for an insertion point, and we are going to snap to the middle of this slide. And then the side that the threaded rod gets jammed into, and then our depth of the thread. And we're going to go with that 375. Do you see how it turns green there? That's what I had previously used. So it's just a visual aid to remind you to, if you're trying to keep things consistent, but certainly by no means required to do that. So you pick that, and then you're prompted for the overall length of the threaded rod. And we are going to go with, let's go with about 4 1/4 inches. Draws it in. Before I put the washer and the hex nuts on this thing, we are going to draw the spring, and we'll go to die springs. We're going to use the Misumi 10 millimeter. It says 50 millimeter for the length, but it'll stay there, but you'll see it can be changed on the fly. And it will be a SWL blue. You can see the data for it, the preload, and for the average deflections and all of that stuff. So anyways, let's get this spring drawn in. So the first thing, before we even position the spring, we're going to have to go through our spring preload. I will accept that 0.125. And our spring travel, now I'm going to zoom in here, snap, and then the slide comes to the back side of this pocket, which is like 100 thousandths. And now we are prompted for our spring insertion point. I am going to go between these two lines and our direction. So now we're going to drag our spring up, and you can see the length is at that 50 now. Our long life is good, our average life is good, our max operating is good, so we're going to just go with that. So now our spring's in. Let's go back up to threaded rod, and we are going to now put in our black oxide washer in the profile view, insertion point, and direction. I am going to just put this in right at the top of the threaded rod. Now I am going to move it to the end of the spring. And that was just a construction line I drew in there. And just so you know, you can see that this spring is not 50 millimeters. It is now 44.285. So that factored in the travel and the preload. Go back up here, And now we're going to put our nuts in. Let's go with our hex nut. Okay, snap to the midpoint of the washer and drop it in. We're going to put another one on top of it. I'm going to use the touch command, which I'll explain a little more as this video goes on. And put our second hex nut in to lock it into place. Now we're going to put 2 in this slide. It's kind of wide, so we'll go 0.625 minus 0.625, erase previous. Okay, so we got our 2 in this slide. Now we also have a slide on the south side with a longer travel. So let me mirror this stuff down. We're just going to start with what I have drawn. But I know the spring length, the compressed length, is wrong because this has a greater travel. So I am going to erase these springs. I'm going to start the spring thing back up again. And I'm going to try to stay with the 50 millimeter. In fact, I will be using the 50 millimeter if all the deflection parameters are still good. But it'll be a little shorter because there's more compression. So let's put that in. We'll go with the 1/8 preload. And then the travel is 400. And the insertion point, we will go between these 2 outside lines of the threaded rod and the direction. And as we drag that spring down to 50 millimeters, you'll see the long life's good, everything's good, average life, max operating is good. So we're gonna move our washer and 2 hex nuts. I'll even erase these hex nuts here, and then I'm going to just copy these guys over to this other threaded rod. So yeah, there you have it. Pretty quick and easy. I would do this in the profile view too, so you can see it visually. But now let's get into a couple other things, because they're more than just these components. They got some intelligence in them. So if you bring up the dialog box again, click help, description, command line, menu location. But here's the good stuff, the intelligence. So the threaded rod intelligence, it'll go into a fastener list. This one will have object transform, which I will demonstrate, and the touch command. Flat washer, hex nut, both have the fastener list intelligence and the touch command. They do not have an object transform. They don't transform into anything. You can also click this video demonstration button to view this video. So we're going to start with the fastener transform. So we're going to come down here. I will type FL, and it's going to pick up all the screws in the whole design, or this whole plan view. But we'll just be looking at the components we just put in. You can see the threaded rod, 1032, 4 1/4 long, 4 required. Flat washer, number 10 size, standard length, 4 required. And then the hex nuts, 1032, standard length, 8 required for that. So that takes care of the fastener list portion of it. Now for the touch command, all I have to do is get the cursor crosshairs over the item I want to duplicate. And what this does is this bypasses going up through the dialog box, and going up to the menu too, so I can just hover this over it, click on it, and I'm already being prompted. So I could type near the jam thread, and my length. Okay, I could start it again. I can put them anywhere. Okay, same thing for the washer. Cursor over here, washer, start it again, and I'm just completely bypassing the dialog box. Hex nut, click on it. Let's put another one in. So pretty easy, pretty cool. Just a little time. Oop, I didn't click nothing that time. Save some time. So now for the threaded rod also had object transform, and that's up in the transform menu, object transform or OT from the command line. So I click on that. On the threaded rod, you can see it tells me it's the 1032 threaded rod, and it'll transform into a jam fit thread. Click OK. Select any additional ones. I could select all of these guys, but I'm just going to select the one. So it put the tapped hole into the die yoke. Now we would do that on these slide inserts. But in this case, I'm just showing you right here. Now the neat part is this thread has intelligence. So we could type, we could type HD or go up to the menu, dimensions, whole table, or HD. And we are going to select just this one object, and it puts the label down A. And you can see it's drill and tap for the 1032 by 3/8 deep. So kind of cool. This would certainly be done at the detail level, not this plan view, when we're detailing these components. Object transform. And yeah, so thank you for watching. And oh, you know what? I didn't like that. That did it because I mirrored it and it didn't update with the mirror. But object transform, jam fit, and there's the jam fit on the actual slide itself. Again, this would be done at the detail level. So I'm going to undo that. And thanks for watching. Got some more stuff coming up pretty soon here. In fact, what are those things that are coming up? We have some components. I'm going to do one on lambda guide lifters. And I am going to do another one on pressure pad hold downs. So stay tuned. Not sure exactly when I'll get those done, but yeah, I think they'll be worth watching. I hope they will be anyways. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.